Indian names. So Tabu was very easy for them. So yeah, that's my pet name. But in school, and when I meet my school friends and school teachers, they will call me Tabassum because they never called them Tabu.
And was wonderful Dave Saab who started using that term for you?
Yeah, he said you must use Tabu. Like, okay, because I was 11 years old when I did my first film with him and I played his daughter.
Naujahan.
Hum Naujahan, yeah. So he said, very unusual name and you should use it. But it is a little too unusual. Now I feel it's a little too small for my height, you know. I feel should I just use my longer name?
But it's wonderful and significant that it was him who gave you that name because only a few years before he first worked with you for Hum Naujahan, he was here in Bhutan
I heard that.
to celebrate our great fort's coronation. So that's very significant.
Yes.
Nice.
Connect me, Dave Saab, and
Yeah. So coming back to your work, Tabu, what do you expect? What films do you have on the floor?
I don't have anything right now. I'm working on Sriram Raghuvan's next film, Karan's next production, and just reading scripts, meeting people, and saying no.
Coupled
That's
with
what I'm famous.
coupled with being slightly reluctant and needing to be convinced on certain roles, do you find that your representation of otherwise in a male-dominated industry, fewer characters being written for very strong female roles, few and far stretch? Fewer roles.
I think I got really lucky. I can't complain. I think I got to do the best. But I think it's changed because I think women are getting to do far more layered characters. You know, I think there's a difference between when we say female-oriented and female-centric or great characters. You know, for me it's more important that the character that a woman I do has layers and it's not just one-dimensional. You know, and that was not really possible when I started off in the late 80s or even in the 90s. You didn't expect the women in film to have so many emotions and so many layers to their personality and their desires and their the dark spaces in them. But now I think the trend has really shifted to having women characters having layers. You know, they can be dark, they could be the vamps, they could be the seductresses, they could be Mata Hari in the Indian sense. So I think that's changed. And I think the girls today are really lucky to get to do these layered characters. And they're not just being the nice women on screen. So yeah.
Well, as you know, Tabu has a reputation for being in more meaningful, very serious, power-oriented roles. But it's always fun and games. Everybody who works with her says they just had a great laugh on set, no matter how serious the film may have been. So coming to that, I'd like to remind everybody about great comedies that Tabu's done in the past. BB Number One, Hera Fairy. How about some more like that? Because you really
I'd love to. Yeah. And I must say that working in a light-hearted film is always fantastic because the whole atmosphere is light and everyone is trying to laugh and thinking of ways to make the audience laugh. So you're also discovering new ways to make people laugh and to find things funny, things that are not really funny, you find them funny. And especially working with people like David Dhawan and Govinda and Akshay Kumar, Priyadarshan in the Hera Fairy setup has been fantastic. And I really like to do more comic, light-hearted films just to balance the serious stuff.
Well, before I change the flow of this interview, I think I'd like to say what everybody says to you when they finally get to say bye or part company with you is like, Please say yes to more films.
Yeah. That's an accusation, complaint, request. In all forms it comes to me. You know, and I'm so happy that people want to see more of me.
And the girl, child in town, bright future, so many opportunities for them. It would mean a lot if you said a few words for them. Some sort of advice.
I am not in the position to advise, but I know Her Majesty has started this fantastic platform called Tarayana, and I'll be happy to be part of it whenever you need me. And what can I say? These girls are lovely, and I'm sure they'll do fantastically well with people like Her Majesty and all things.
Thank you, Prabhu. I know everybody's just seething to ask questions, so we'll open it up to the floor, and we'll start with the great Piyush Pandey.
You're gonna ask a question? Trick me into it. Surprise. Shock.
Okay, all right. Kelly spoke about a lot of films. Some of them very strong actors like Makbul, where you had Kapoor and Irfan Khan, both method actors from National School of Drama, and you did a great job. I just want to ask you, how was it like romancing Mr. Bachchan and Nikam, a man twice your age, and you gave him health through the film in your character? Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh my God.
So Piyush wants some love advice.
That was one of my most memorable experiences, and of course, apart from the character that I was playing, the fact that it was Mr. Bachchan, I don't think I could have fallen in love with a man that age if it was not for Mr. Bachchan. You know, Balki wrote the film for me and him. In fact, you know. So I can just remember great moments, great memories. The fact that Bachchan Saab would want to rehearse everything, and want me to rehearse till one day he gave up on me and said, "Aapko interest nahi hai." He was just fantastic. He's just now the best people and professionals to work with.
Fabulous. Legend. Anybody else? One more. Wow, we have quite a few.
Come on,
Greetings, my name is Karma.
Hello, Karma.
Growing up, who was your biggest inspiration and why?
Oh, so my inspiration. I don't know about growing up, but in my teens, I really looked up to Oprah Winfrey. Yeah, she has a talk show. Correct. And she's done a lot for women and privileged people, and she's just an amazing woman. Thank you.
I just wanted to ask a footnote, the supplementary question you asked. In Chinikam, you're another very excellent actor. Your scandalized father, Raval.
Because he was supposed to be younger than my boyfriend.
Exactly. But his role was very limited. Another very great actor that we have. Thank you.
I'm getting a tone here where everybody over 12 thinks they have a chance with Prabhu.
You have to be Amitabh Bachchan to get that.
Come. Yes.
Greetings, ma'am. I'm from Punjab. I wanted to ask that has any of your characters from your career in Indian cinema influenced your life in any way?
I hope they didn't because I played such crazy characters.
Yes, building on that. You ever
But
walk
I
away?
think Chini comes closest to me as a person. I mean, I played suicide bomber to prostitute to bar dancer to everything else. But I think Balki is very smart in writing Chini for me because I could be that person. I could be that woman who could fall in love with somebody like that and actually give him a tough time.
No, but building on that, taking away, barring the extreme, so to speak. Do you ever find yourself suffering from a character hangover?
Most of the time I didn't have time for that because we were doing so many films. You know how we worked there, especially in the Telugu film industry because I was doing so many languages, 5 languages and Hindi and all of that and every genre of cinema. So I could not afford a hangover. But of course you thought about these characters. I think the first time I really thought about people like that was when I was doing Marxist and I was terribly young. I mean I was 22. To be able to absorb the gravity of the story about Operation Star. And I was playing this young girl who takes to militancy and who kills herself by cyanide in the end. So these characters really somewhere set me thinking, about people like these that really existed and they're real. And when I did Chandni, before I did Chandni, I had no idea about this underbelly of Mumbai, about the bar culture. Till Madhur took me to a beer bar and to show what it is like and can actually do exist. Because before that, the bar girls that we saw, the dancers we saw in Hindi films was a really quintessential vamp who was doing the dances and also you thought these are fictional characters. Yeah. Till I went to bars and till I read Chandni Bar. It was so heavy for me that I could not read beyond the first half. And then I put it down and I went back to it a few days later. So really you start to think about the world, about society, about how things happen. And even if not at that society level, you start thinking about relationships, and especially with Vishal's films, I think he handles these subtle and deep come to New York and do my film. So I said, yeah, okay. When? So I thought it was like one later or something. In 2 weeks. It was torture to know that in 2 weeks I have to go and do this big American film in this book. And I had not completed reading it. And then I didn't want to go back to it. And I just landed up in New York after shooting for a Masala Telugu film with Chiranjeevi sir. I landed up there having no clue about what it was going to be like. It was the first American English language film that I was going to do. And Meera kept giving me these little shocks. Okay, so it's English, but now you have to speak with a Bengali accent. I don't think about all those other factors as much as I do about connecting to the emotional core of the character and their emotional journey. And it was the journey of the parents was so strong and so lyrical and beautiful and poetic and so true to the Indian culture. You know, so I don't think I found it very difficult. Of course, parts of it were difficult. What was a revelation for me was that to express in a foreign language, in a different language, because as much as we converse in English and we grown up and studied in convents, but when it comes to expressing your deep emotions, there's a distance when you are expressing them in a different language. No? So, and I always felt that. I felt that there's something amiss. You know? But it was the fact that it was English, it was Bangla, it was so much else that was happening. But I don't know, something just summed it up beautifully, and the journey became so much about the parents. And I have a huge set of Bengali friends, and I know the culture. And I'm glad I have done a Bangla film for that. So, I had a glimpse of the culture and language. So I think that helped me a lot. But of course, Meera is fantastic. She gives no instructions. And this I've noticed about American actors. They do not give instructions. When you come to the set, they expect you to know what you're going to do or what you're supposed to do. And only when she thinks that she has to give you that one extra brief, she'll come and tell you something in your ear and you've got it. Like the scene where she's having a baby, not had a child yet, and she was so spot on that she just does it like that. And she herself is such an emotionally wired person, so she knows all the nuances.
Happy?
I hope I've answered something.
Come. I'm sorry, we'll come to the back in a bit.
Hello, my name is again Michael Wangchuk.
Hello
my
again.
question.
I have a friend call again.
My question is, how did you get into the filming industry, and what was your first feeling? How did you feel?
Okay. How did I get in? That's a very long story, and that's so long back that I've almost forgotten. But it all happened by chance, and I never wanted to be an actress. I didn't have any plans, and my sister became an actress, and I was spotted by somebody and cajoled by Shekhar Kapoor to do this one film, and I was very reluctant. I wanted to study, but they literally forced me to do this one film, and Shekhar said, I'll pay for your studies, you go abroad, but you do this one film called Prem. And somehow I agreed. I believed him, which I should not have. He got me into the film and he ran away.
8 years, wasn't it?
No, 5 or 6 years. So that's how I got into the movies. And my first day of shooting, I was very nervous. I had to climb down a big staircase because that time every movie had a big staircase. However poor the characters were, the staircases were very big. And the actress always had to come down the staircase without looking down, but also looking very beautiful and very happy and very confident. So that was the worst thing that I got to do. It was the most difficult. I had this gown and I was walking down feeling so nervous, and I had to put this smile on my face. I was cursing everybody, and I was like, this is why I don't want to get into the movies. This is all rubbish. How can you make me do like this? And who walks down the stairs without falling and tripping, without looking down? So that was it. That said it, I said, this is the movie industry. You have to pretend to be happy when you're not. That's okay. So I started walking, and I was so nervous that I did some 45 retakes. Of course, they were also fond of doing retakes.
I know.
So they have a reputation for that, so it's okay.
Somebody? Yes, over there at the back.
Greetings, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm Suyashka, and I've always been a very big fan of yours.
Thank you.
My question to you is, what is that one thing in a script that lets you decide on doing a movie out of it?
So it's not any one thing that I can put my finger on. I think with different projects, the criteria changes. I can't have everything in one project. So sometimes I look at the role, the character. Sometimes you want to work with the director. Sometimes you want to work with this particular actor. You know, like Ang Lee, when he came to me with Life of Pi. The parts for the parents were not so huge, but I wanted to work with Ang Lee. You know,
Who wouldn't?
Yeah, who wouldn't? So that was my deciding factor. Sometimes the money is very good, so you don't say no to a film. So
She's adorable, so
yeah.
honest.
And a language. I wanted to do a Bangla film. So when the Bengali film came to me, I said yes to it. So yeah, at different stages in your life, I think your criteria is, you know, changing and your purpose is changing. And yeah, what you want to take from a project is not always the same. What you wanted at 16 may not be the same at 30, may not be the same at 40.
Great. Yes?
Good morning, everyone.
There you are.
Good morning, ma'am. As we all know that you're a very great actor, not only in the Indian cinema but all over the world, and everyone faces failure. So my question to you is, how do you cope up with failure?
I consider, for me, I think definition of failure is not just when a film flops. Of course, that is a failure, but that's a combined, you know, a group failure, what you call it. But I still don't see that as failure. But I would feel disappointment if I felt that I did not give my best to the role that I was doing or to the job that I was doing. You know, or when I fail as a person with somebody in a relationship or in a relationship to my work, then I feel disappointment.
You can make out that hasn't happened very often.
That's what you think.
Yes, we had some hands. Sorry, please.
Hi Tabu, it's a pleasure being here with you. My question to you is, do you think that as an actress, your roles provided you an outlet to voice out your inner feelings or to do things you wanted to do or to voice out your perceptions about concerns and issues socially or otherwise?
Most certainly. My feelings and emotions for sure. The script is not mine. I mean, the director is the storyteller. So what he's saying about the world or society or the issues are really his perception or his voice. You know, but if I have believed in it, like we were talking about Chandni Bar or Maqbool or Haider, then it has really worked well both ways.
You know, in continuation with the same, in this recent movie of yours, Haider, what I like the best is that though it was shown that your loyalties towards your partner they were there, but still, you know, your desire as a woman and your feelings as a woman, that you portrayed so well. So, I mean, how could you do that?
They are all in me, that's why.
Yeah. It's the two dimensions of a woman's personality. Yeah. Thank you.
We had a hand.
Good morning, ma'am. I would like to know, is there any role that you're still waiting in your life, like you really want to play that role? Any role from any book which you've read recently, or you know, you just are waiting for the right person to approach you with that role?
I don't know about a particular character, but I would love to play a warrior in some film. Yeah, I think I would have looked good also.
Come, first, why don't you?
Thank you. Hello, Tabu. A really big fan of yours. And firstly, I would like to say that you were outstanding in Haider as well as Chinikam. And my question to you is that, do you feel that the real essence of acting in drama and theatre has somewhere or the other been overtaken by attributes like, you know, glamour or masala as we call it? This has been witnessed in the upcoming films that are being made in today's scenario. So what are your views on that?
Well, I'm not really familiar with theatre because my world is cinema and film. You can sit down. Film and film acting. So I really don't have the correct answer for that. But I must say that theater and film are completely different mediums of acting. And if you ask the actors, those who have acted in theater and film, will also say that it's a completely different medium. You know, so I don't think there's a comparison. But film acting is film acting.
Now it's not just Indian cinema. As you all know, Tabu speaks 5 different languages, and she's impacted regional cinema around India equally. Telugu cinema, Malayalam, Tamil, Bengali. And with these films, have you been getting more offers regionally? Because I do know that you're missed in Telugu cinema very much.
Yeah, I get a lot of offers in Telugu still. And the funny part is, and the interesting part of my journey in doing these different languages was that every South Indian language or every language in India in the film industry has a particular essence, character about them. I'm sure you know that Telugu cinema is more leaning towards glamour, entertainment, you know, the larger than life films.
I just show up and say, kill him, kill her. Yeah.
He does all those kind of films. Unrealistic villain.
No, but for you, it's, you know, they want you to embody so much more, right?
In Telugu films, it's a little different. It's not so serious and heavy. Malayalam cinema is more serious, and because they have such a huge impact of literature on their films, they are more realistic, so as to say. We finished shooting a Malayalam film in 14 days, you know. And Tamil cinema is totally different, you know. So, and after doing all this, you understand that every film industry has its own strong points and characters, and how different they are all from each other. You know, yeah.
Good morning, everybody, and particularly Tabuji. Just before this session, there was discussion on the novel written by Ambassador Verma, and there was a team of producers, directors, and in that director's name was Vishal Bhardwaj, sir has mentioned, and in 2 or 3 of your films you have done with Vishal Bhardwaj. So my question is, can we hope to see Tabuji as Tara of that?
Sir, you have to recommend me to those producers.
Well, there you have it. You were approached first.
I hope so.
Your Majesty, thank you for
I want to
visiting.
say, no, before we conclude it, I want to thank Her Majesty, Vasundhara Raje ji. It's an honor to speak here. It's you, sir. You sprang a surprise on me. But Your Majesty, I'm so honored to be a part of this. I never thought that it'll be like this. I've never been to a literary fest, I mean just for an hour in Kolkata, but this has been so wonderful. And thank you so much for hosting me, and Vasundhara ji, thank you. You're fantastic. You're fantastic. It's an honor. We want more examples of women like you. Really, really.
Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, Your Excellencies, thank you for this platform. In particular, thank you for bringing Mountain Echoes to Bhutan and giving our youth a chance to read a book, because most of us haven't read a book since Facebook. So and with that,
I also want to, sorry to interrupt, thank you, Kelly,
no.
because of you I'm here. Karma, thank you very much for taking such excellent care of me. And all the people of Bhutan, the monks who have been teaching me relentlessly, and everybody in the monastery, in the hotel, thank you very much.
This morning I was thinking about your name, Tabu. And I said, should I, for the first time in my life, actually call her Tabassum? But you know something? I think I can make it work. Because in Dzongkha, I want to romanticize your name and wish you with this farewell that your name, Taba, ever in Dzongkha, and Sum, 3. So may your career and your life be 3 times eternity, okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.